Hello fam, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing okay. I'm also good. Thank you so much for your support. Yes, I do appreciate every effort that you make to support me. So in today's video, we are going to react to this Chinese Jamaican lady. Yeah, she want her to be called like that. She's a Chinese Jamaican lady called Lorna Chin Chin. In the previous interview, she revealed the challenges that she goes through as a Chinese Jamaican lady, and maybe as all people who are Chinese Jamaicans, you know. So maybe she was speaking to all of them. So let's listen to this interview, then we can come up with the comments. Kindly watch till the end. Don't forget to give this video a like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you have not.
I started off just posting about my life. I started off posting about things that happened in my life. Unfortunately, I am not Black and I identify as Jamaican. So that's very confusing to a lot of people. And I don't think I would have gotten the kind of responses that I'm getting now were it not for COVID and the current climate, which kind of erupted into what I'm told is Asian hate. I heard about it, I saw it on the news, and it did not affect me because I'm primarily in South Florida, and South Florida is a very diverse area. It's very Hispanic, it's very Caribbean, and I tend not to stray too far from home when it comes to my base because I have to keep traveling back and forth between the Caribbean for work. So South Florida became my base, and if you didn't know, we have pretty much everything we need to sustain a Jamaican diet and all that stuff here. The climate is similar and everything. So I never really understood what they meant when they were when the legislature in America and they're lobbying saying, hey, we need to do something about Asian hate. So that really did not resonate with me until I started getting a lot of pushback on Instagram, and it took me by surprise because I've never seen or felt racism before, not like this. And I continued to do my funny videos and my stand-ups or whatever you want to call it, and it's like there's a disconnect again. Why is this woman trying to prove so hard she's Jamaican and I'm not? I'm just being me. And, part of being Jamaican is that we do these memes, like video memes. And hey, if dog not chase you down one road, are you really Jamaican? But, coming from somebody that looks like me, it sounds like saying, are you trying to say that we're not Jamaicans? What are you trying to say? And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, here we go again. No, that's not how it works. That's how the culture works, That's kind of how it started. And then the ignorance started. And when I say ignorance, I don't mean it in the Jamaican definition where you just get mad quick. They do get mad quick. Ignorance as in you don't know better or you're lacking in knowledge. That's how I put it. And I realized that a lot of people thought that Jamaica was an all Afro nation. Homogeneous, is that how we pronounce it in Jamaica? Yes. Or in America, say homogeneous, that it was just this one thing. And I'm like, no, didn't you realize the motto is out of many, one people? Why do you think it is that? And then lo and behold, again, everything is a learning process, So I approach everything as a learning process. And so that happened. And I go, wait a minute, other people have their own translation of the motto. Because to me, growing up in school and being taught civics, out of many, one people is supposed to mean that all these cultures clashed after 1856. And out of that clash burst a new nation that was diverse and culturally so tangled and beautiful. And, growing up, I didn't face racism. I wasn't told that, hey, Chinese girl, don't you over there, so we over here. So they'll tease you, of course. I got that. That is why my skin is so thick, because send you back to China. But that doesn't mean that they weren't going to play with you on the playground or come over and invite you over to sit with them and eat lunch. Never. So, my friends will still joke about that. A cute guy comes up and talk to me. Hi, you single? And they'll come, you don't want a real Jamaican, that's funny. It's hilarious, and then they catch themselves going, "Oh, not that you're not Jamaican in the Lona." I mean, and I'm laughing my ass off. You're not gonna live this one down, you know. But it's okay to joke about it.
So
but
what
when
is
you're
so,
but when
what
you're
is so
serious, it's a
different
different
now,
problem.
Lorna? What is so different now? You said, well, you're accustomed to the tease and to the taunting about, having a Chinese background. And so what makes this so different now, especially with, I'm
The
sure.
political climate definitely makes it more difficult. I mentioned COVID before, right? That added insult to injury. We have Chinese corporations like China Harbor Engineering Company, which has a very bad reputation of coming in, abusing the natural resources of a country. I'm not going to say buying up land. They don't buy something that's not for sale. You understand what I'm saying?
So wait a minute. Let me clarify. So are you saying that these are the arguments, these are the noise around Chinese immigrants,
Mm-hmm.
migrating into different countries, or
The climate is slightly different. History repeats itself. It absolutely does. And if we do not learn from our history, we are bound to repeat the mistakes of our past. Okay? And that's why you see me focus so much on history in a lot of the reels that I do. It's important because I think a lot of history in Jamaican education has been lost. I mean, in fact, I was just recently told that they don't even teach civics in Jamaica anymore. They're focusing on math and English and all the things. So I'm like, oh, so you guys actually did not, do a civics class? Because I'm sure if I went into my garage right now, there's an orange book that says civics for young Jamaicans.
So how would you describe then what would be the paradigm then? How would you explain Chinese immigrants in Jamaica to counter the narratives of the coming in, buying up land? What can you use to counter that argument to say this is the fact?
They are coming in and buying up land. That's the funny thing. They are, and it doesn't make me happy. Where the history comes in is when what you have to realize is we're not the same tribe. Okay. You see a Chinese person and you think all Chinese are coming in. So when you see my videos, the thing is, oh my God, colonizer, they're coming in and buying up. And I think Dr. Omar Johnson put my face up on screen and did a whole lecture on what's wrong with the Chinese buying up land. I'm the wrong person to put up there. Who for face must have put up there, sir? Not even my own. Somebody who actually was born in China.
Mm-hmm.
That's who you're supposed to do that. I'm like 3 or 4 generations removed. I can probably trace my lineage to the first Mr. Chin. The reason why Jamaican people call every Chinese person Mr. Chin, Miss Chin, I can be traced back to that man. I'm the wrong person to be putting up there. And I think that it is important for us to know the history. Some of the ignorant questions that come up are, what has Chinese people done for Jamaica? You don't know the answer to that. That's a really dumb question. Chinese people didn't do anything like invent reggae music. Who do you think invented reggae music? I think one person invent reggae music. And the irony of that situation is, in that studio with Tosh and Marley and, all those guys was a man named Leslie Kong. And he was one of the producers.
And I agree, because there's several others as well. I believe one of
Byron Lee.
Patricia
Chin.
What's her name? Could you repeat?
Patricia Chin and her husband. I can't remember the husband name, but I know Patricia Chin does lectures at UWI about, she brought reggae music to the mainstream. Leslie Kong, he was so instrumental in the early days of reggae in terms of The Harder They Come. He produced all of that, Tony Rebel, all of those guys. I'm not saying that we invented it as a subculture of Jamaican culture. I'm saying that out of many, one people, we are our motto. It's the butterfly effect. If Leslie Kong wasn't there, would it be what it is? Would it sound like what it is without his creative input? You know, without Patricia's shop not being there, we could probably do a whole movie on what if, you know, those little movies where you take out something and see how history would have unfolded. You know, if Channel 1 wasn't there, all those things. You cannot erase us from the history.
And that's a key point. So is it then that because of so many years that you talk about from 1865 when Chinese immigrants started
56. That's 10-year difference. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the civil right, the abolition of slavery. So when the fact that they arrived and they settled in, and when I mean settled in, they were mainly passive or invisible. They were just bent on building business in commerce
they weren't passive and invisible in the first part. No, I don't think they were. Remember that they had to work the sugar plantations.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to work alongside other ethnicities, the Indians, the Irish, and the African descended former slaves. They didn't just come and start open up shop. They worked their indentured labor contracts out, got what they were supposed to get, and decided, I'm not staying here. I'm not going to do this. I want to do something else. And the reason why they chose commerce, retail, and wholesale business was when you don't speak the native language, you have to put yourself in a position where the customer comes to you. You don't go to the customer. You have to understand the logic and the history of why that unfolded. That's why that is. And like I say, history keeps repeating itself. And one of the things I wanted to really do, and one of my reasons, is just pick up the camera and go, well, look like my own shop to you. Because I do not own a shop. I absolutely don't own a shop. The customer comes to me, not the other way around. So that generational tradition did not get passed on to me when the shop was being, closed down. Lana, you want a shop? No, me don't want a shop. What may I do with shop?
However, though, Lana, we're talking about even participating in the political structure. Yes, they, are very active in the music business, as you pointed out. But what were the participation? And the reason why I'm saying this is because this is a starting point then for the Chinese community to be more visible and more outspoken and more active then in terms of participate in the activeness of the culture. Now that you're coming out and you may be you're raising your now you're coming out in a sense and speaking out more, it may seem so different. And Jamaican people say, well, where were you all this time, right?
Me personally, or the Chinese Jamaicans, because you do realize that the deputy prime minister of Jamaica is Horace Chang.
You're right. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Delroy, Chuck, all of those people, the deputy prime. That's why when people ask me I live across the street from Horace Chang in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
That's the irony of the situation. So when people ask, I think it was the guy from African diaspora. Come, I'm going to pick with him, by the way. What a dunce idiot. Actually accused me of cultural appropriation after him said the whole thing. After him said the 2, 3, 4 passports in my hand. Cultural appropriation. Seriously? Didn't get the point of the video. He said, what's next? Are they going to run for office? Chinese Jamaicans have been running for office and are a part of Jamaican government for decades. Chinese Jamaicans are so integrated into the foundation of Jamaican culture that when there was a mass exodus of the upper and middle classes in the late 70s to early 80s, and that is another part of history that a lot of people don't know. Manly's social revolution triggered a mass exodus of Jamaicans who had the ability to leave, migrate to the United States, Canada, and the UK. And that emigration jolted the economy, and we still are recovering from that jolt. When I was in prep school, third grade 3, grade 5, the Jamaican dollar was 5 to 1. Now it's 150 odd. And I remember when JLP came into power, when Manley lost the election and we did not become a communist country. I remember all that talk. I remember Reagan coming to Jamaica and the Secret Service and the soldiers up on Stony Hill because of the route that they were driving Reagan through. I remember all of that. And then to grow up and read about how the CIA manipulated Jamaican politics, threw us into debt, forced us into debt with the IMF, and to have foreigners living in the United States, like myself, who are a part of the problem, blaming the Chinese. That's absolute ludicrous. Learn the history, understand the why, and then you will learn to stop blaming other people for your problems.
You also have to understand, and I support you on this, and hopefully I don't get any pushback in terms of
you won't get pushback with anything from it because I speak the truth and I speak it so bluntly.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but pushback from others per se. So the education piece, I 100% agree. Where we don't understand the political underlining of why things happen, when things are happening, and we only get in just tidbits, and once it trickle down, that stories change and the point of view change, and we really end up with not much. And so what do you think you can do then to she's smiling, to using this platform, the fact that you're getting so much attention, to inform us and to inform even you take it as a school tour for say high school students, because I believe you I appreciate the point when you said there's a lot of things. The civic education aspect is has been removed, and the education piece about the history and the out of many one motto is not understood, and we need to reclaim it and make sense of it. Because for example, it's not just Chinese population in Jamaica. There's Syrian, there's Lebanese, there's Jewish population, and all sorts of different ethnic groups from Europe and Asia. So it is unfair for them to simply target one group. So what do you think about making, just doing a tour of the high school and create like an educational piece to informed, because it seems as if the people that are coming at you on Instagram, there are so many different pieces that people may believe the noise over the facts.
Okay, so I didn't ask for this platform. It was pretty much dropped on my front door. It feels like Amazon had a drone and it goes, here you go. This is an Instagram account with all the bells and whistles turned on. When I say turned on, I have never seen an account grow like this, and I do this for a living. I had 154 followers, and I made a video to my 154 followers.
And where are you now?
Oh, close to 70,000 in a matter of 4 months.
Well, that's incredible.
Once it went past 30, all the bells and whistles started to turn on. And I was gaining about 10,000 followers a week if I posted. And then there are times when I just get busy with work and I stop posting. And that's when I say all the bells and whistles turn on, the monetizations, all of it is on. Subscriptions, everything was just thrown at you. And I'm sitting there going, hey guys, what am I supposed to do with this account? It was an accident. And what I know I'm really good at is pissing people off. It's a gift, trust me. And it's why I stayed away from this. Whenever I did my videos, I kept my face out of the video. I was doing all of these cooking videos. Nobody knew I wasn't Black. Oh my God. One day I got put my face to the camera and I forgot to turn on my fake American accent. And I do fake an American accent because I am tired of the questions. So why do you sound Black? I'm not black. I'm Jamaican. We're Jamaicans. Yeah, but how did you guys get to Jamaica? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, you know what? Let me just fake an American accent and we just avoid the 50 questions. How can I use my platform? Well, you see, the reason why my videos went viral in the first place, unfortunately, is because of the controversial nature in which I did them.
Yeah.
I have been doing videos, and there are videos on YouTube and Instagram. Jamaicans.com is a very popular forum that I enjoy. There, Wayne Chen, they put these things out there, and people, who are interested in the topic read it. What I was able to do is I was able to reach people who wouldn't normally read or watch those videos because they don't care. What I did was I triggered them. Why did I trigger them? It was a challenge. Can you hit 1 million views in your next reel? I said, absolutely. Would you say this? Yes, but not quite like that. Okay, then it's a dare. I might hold my bear. Boom. And that was when I dropped the African video. Jamaica is not an African country. Why did I say that? Well, I was responding to a very specific question. And what happens, because I was new to the Instagram thing, is when somebody deletes their question or their comment and you respond to it, that little thing at the top goes away. And the video loses its context and then the thing goes away. And I go, oh, shoot, I just wasted a whole reel on that one. So I was like, you know what? I don't care. I went through all the trouble of recording that damn thing. So we're just going to do it. And the question was basically, why are the Chinese invading all Afro countries? That was the first part of the question. And why do the Africans allow the Chinese into Jamaica? That was the second half of the question. And the answer to that question was because Jamaica is not an African country. It is not a black country. It does not mean that there are no Africans there. It does not mean that the majority of people are not black. Informally, yes, it would be considered a black country because, majority of people, but legally, by definition, we are defined by our motto, out of many one people. When you look us up on the internet, on JIS, on any official, even in the Constitution, we are an ethnically diverse society. Therefore, the majority, being Africans descended, cannot legally dictate to the minority and tell them that they're less Jamaicans, and vice versa, It's one of the only places in the world where the minority is so included in the nationality that to take it away would cause a great disruption. Just like I said, it jolted the economy when that mass exodus happened. So yes, I presented the information and this is information that you get on, like I said, JIS, Jamaicans.com. Those are my sources. But the way I presented it hit a chord, struck up a conversation, and brought people into that conversation that would normally have read those things and tried to educate themselves on those things because I triggered it.
So do I think that
triggering a conversation is a beautiful thing? Yes, I do.
Wonderful. So is it because you maybe the emphasis on I'm not black, I'm Chinese, or I'm not black, I'm Chinese Jamaican? Could that be, and I'm trying to, kind of walk in the other shoes, trying to make sense of why some people may feel triggered about this type of categorization. There are
two types of triggers. There's two types of triggers. Those who believe that I am trying to erase the African, and then that's the first one. And then there are people who just cannot grasp the fact that it's not what they thought it was. I've met people who absolutely say and bluntly believe that you cannot be Jamaican unless you have African blood.
And it is taken from just the one drop rule that they have in the US.
If there's a one drop rule, I am definitely of African descent. I'm sorry I hate to break it to people, two of my grandparents decided to marry other Asian people. But if you look at the rest of my family, I don't look like the rest of my family. That's the truth.
And the thing is, and it's not that people who are being critical of you should know that, because or should they, to make the conversation seems more authentic or to make your position seems more legitimate? What do you think? Does the background in terms of the family heritage and the diversity within your family
no, because they don't know the diversity, because they've never asked for it. They just judge with their eyes. When I show you the passports, it should have immediately told you that we've been here for a while. We are not Chinese. There was a funny story about the Chinese riots that were happening. I don't know when they happened. There were several Chinese riots. They're called Chinese riots because at some point in history, my mom talks about it. I can't remember the year, because there were at least 2 or 3 of them. Downtown, a Chinese man, as the story goes.
Okay, now that you have listened to Lorna Chin Chin, yeah, you have heard that she has come up with the racism, she has faced racism. This is where when she meets someone and she tells them that she's a Jamaican, they'll be like, no, you are not a Jamaican, because they believe that Jamaicans, they are blacks. We all know, and she had to ask, if we are black, what of this motto? Our motto says, out of many, one people. We all know Jamaica has different people, even in the reggae music. I don't know if it's Bob Marley who said, different colors, one people, different colors, one people. We all know, yeah. So, but a lot of percent are the blacks, yeah. So the blacks were migrated to Jamaica because they believe that blacks are very, very strong, they're energetic, and on the way, other races were also joined in, the Indians, the Chinese, yeah. So out of many colors, one people, yeah, out of many, one people. So she also came up with this, that every time she says that she is a Jamaican, she will be asked, have the Chinese invented reggae music? Did you guys help us to invent the reggae music? And she said yes, yeah. She mentioned some few names that these people really, really helped in inventing the reggae music and the hip hop music. And she also said that we are part of Jamaicans because the deputy prime minister of Jamaica is a Chinese, the Chang. She's called Chang. The other name I think I forgot, but she's called Chang. So they are part of Jamaica. And maybe she also said that maybe these coming days a Chinese Jamaica will be the prime minister. So we never know. So Jamaicans, I think that was it. If you have watched this video, I don't want to react more. I don't want maybe the Chinese Jamaicans to come for me, that you guys don't want us here, where do you want us to go? No, out of many, one people, and we love you so much. So thank you so much for watching this video. This was just her side of the story, what she has faced as a Chinese Jamaica living in Jamaica. Yeah, so that was it. Thank you. I hope to see you in the next video. For now, it's just a bye. See you in the next video.